Hello everyone, and welcome to the 8th installment in my Minecraft Dungeons build series. As I already mentioned in the previous episodes, this will be a 4-part series where I showcase 4 builds that I've been working on. As a reminder, just remember that all these builds have been cloned from the same character, that being my main character, so that's why they only have a Gong of Weakening in their inventory, and that's why a lot of them have similar emerald counts. And without further ado, let's get right into this end-focused build that I'm calling the End Enforcer. Now to start off, for my weapon, I have the beginning and the end. For built-in skills, we have Leeching, or leeches health from mobs, and Void Strike, or applies rising damage multiplier. As for the enchantments, I have Critical Hit, Sharpness, and Guarding Strike. And for the stats, we have a moderate amount of power, a low amount of speed, and a even lower area. But overall, these stats don't really do the weapon any justice, and it really has performed well in my experience. Moving along, for the armor, I have the Sturdy Choker Armor. For the built-in skills, we have Mobs Target You More, Deflect or deflect enemy projectiles. When surrounded by 4 or more enemies, take 50% less damage, and fire choker projectiles at nearby enemies. And for the enchantments, I have Potion Barrier, Cooldown, and Protection. And no gilded enchantment this time. Next up, for the bow, we have the Call of the Void. For built-in skills, we have Void Strike, or applies rising damage multiplier, and Fuse Shot, or a chance for arrows to explode. And for the enchantments, I have Refreshment, Supercharge, and Multi-Shot. And for the stats, we have a decent amount of power, a low amount of speed, and a moderate amount of ammo. And finally, for our 3 artifacts, we first off have what I believe is essential for any melee-focused build, that being the Deathcat Mushroom. Next is the Ironhide Amulet. And finally, the Void Quiver. And of course, a Gong of Weakening to help deal with those more difficult bosses. As for the performance of this build, right away you can see we're doing a lot of damage, pretty much around 1 to 2 million per hit. With crit, we get over 2 million, and actually it looks like we're staying around the 1 million range with, oh, we just hit 4 million. So yeah, decent amount of damage for the speed that we're attacking. And if we add in a mushroom there, we attack even faster than before. And on top of that, if we add in a Gong, we deal even more damage, 10 million there along with 7 million, and we're pretty much hitting for about 2 to 3 million every single hit. Of course, that being without a crit, because added on with the crit, we're dealing upwards of 7 million damage. Next up for the bow, 1 single hit. Kind of hard to see there, but I don't think we reached over 1 million. Okay. Almost 1 million there. 1 million there with some added Void Strike. Almost 2 million. Fuse Shot does about 1 million damage, a little bit more. So yeah, overall we're dealing a lot of damage per hit with this bow. And with the added on Gong effect, we're doing even more damage with about 3 million per hit. There goes the Piercing, almost 3 million, and then 5 million. Well, almost. Multi-Shot and Piercing activating a lot, which is really nice. There goes Fuse Shot as well. And finally, for our only damaging artifact, we have the Void Quiver, which should help us deal out even more Void Strike damage, and dish it out to enemies more quickly as well. So overall, all these skills should really work in conjunction with each other to create a really powerful build. And now I think it's time for you guys to see how this build performs in a Apocalypse plus 25 environment. Alright, so I have loaded into the Broken Citadel, and I know for a fact that there aren't too many mobs at the start, so probably won't be anything too eventful happening, so won't have to worry about dying too much. Yeah, pretty easy so far. Almost one-shotting some of these enemies. A few endermites. Spitters. These guys. Teleportation is just a bit annoying. It's the Void Quiver. Shoot some of these guys. Weird that there's pillagers here. But probably shouldn't think too much of it. Loyal guards. Deal with. Nice amount of damage there. You guys up here, just make sure to be careful. When we get swarmed, though, we take a lot less damage, which is really nice. Because it's also a bit harder to deal with larger groups of mobs, because we don't deal as much damage as some more powerful weapons. But we still get the job done. Not really any enchanted mobs yet, so probably because we haven't had a chance to see them any yet either. We should soon though. Basic enemies aren't too hard to deal with, and they're pretty easy. Just annoying because they keep teleporting. Give me Iron Hide just in case. Deal with these guys. Grab that. So we're a little quicker. Shoot some of these guys. There should be something. Pretty sure there's a gate coming up, so that should be a little more difficult. Yep, right here. Here we go. There's the worm. Oh, just an enderman? Right away? Okay. Shouldn't be too difficult to deal with if he'll teleport back. There we go. Almost there. Alright, sweet. Got him. I'll take out these guys too, just because I'm sure we have to. I'm here to deflect activating though, which is nice, because these guys are definitely ranged. Void push, but we're good. Almost got him. That should be it. No, one more. Maybe more ways. I'm not too sure. Finish off these guys though. Alright. Sweet. So I'm going to end the commentary here and leave you guys with a short compilation of me going throughout the level, and I'll make sure to get back to you guys once I have reached the end. And I know there is a boss at the very end of this level, but I'm just gonna go defeat him without any commentary and just get back to you guys once I am completely finished. So I defeated the final boss and made it to the end of the level, and surprisingly I made it out of there with 0 deaths. It actually went really well. Now you probably see by now I have 2 totems left instead of 3. Now I did die once, but I'm not technically counting it because for some reason my Iron Hide amulet was not recharging, so I purposely had a mob kill me so it would fix itself. And luckily it did end up fixing itself because I was worried I would have to restart the level, but in the end it all worked out. And overall I think this build performed amazingly. It had a really high amount of survivability and was able to deal out a bunch of damage at the same time. So before this video ends, I'd just like to thank everyone who watched these 4 newest entries into my Minecraft Dungeons build series. All of these 4 builds performed really nicely. Some could use some work, a few different enchantments maybe here and there, but overall I had a really fun time testing and playing with these builds, and I hope you enjoyed watching me showcase them for you guys. Now this is the final episode of this 4-part build series, but I am pretty confident to say that I will be making some new builds in the future, and most likely another 4-part series will come eventually. But to end the series off, if you guys enjoyed watching all 4 of these build videos, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, have an amazing rest of your day, and goodbye.